the string, pull the string.
Hi, I'm John Waite, and tonight we're going to play in Santa Clara. We're looking forward to it. Here we are. Well, I came from a musical family. My brother played guitar, my mum played the piano. My Auntie Doris gave me a radiogram when I was about 7, which was like half radio and half turntable, and a bunch of singles, because we all loved music so much we couldn't really afford a record player. And she very generously gave us that, and my life began to sort of revolve around the record player. The first record I ever bought, I bought with my brother. It was an EP. It was called Shadows to the Fore, and the Shadows were Cliff Richard's backing band. Hank B. Marvin was the guitar player. He was like the white Jimi Hendrix from the 50s, really, the very sort of like later part of the 50s, but he was like an exceptional guitar player. And my whole life revolved around music. It was hard to find. It was hard to find people that knew about it. We could get it on the American Services Network, the radio show that was out of Luxembourg. They'd play country and western. And so occasionally I'd hear Hank Williams or Patsy Cline, Jimmy Rogers. There was an interest in blues, but in more mainstream blues. Big Bill Broonzy was big with me. Brenda Lee was huge. I had a crush on Brenda Lee when I was about 5. But it was all American. That was the interesting part about it. It was all influenced by American music. And it went from cowboys and Indians to rock and roll pretty quickly. Elvis didn't really cross my world. That seemed a bit more out of reach. But country didn't. Country actually touched my world with sort of Marty Robbins, cowboy songs, and what came out of Nashville. So the English rock scene didn't really take place after the Shadows till the Beatles. You know, there was like a grey period where a lot of people were making music, but it was very middle of the road. It was single singers like Helen Shapiro or Matt Monroe, these singers that were singing like Americana. They were like story songs, or they were pure pop songs, but they were very inoffensive. And if you dug deeper and went to American rock, it all got sexier real quick. The women looked sexier, the guys were singing about getting laid and stuff. It was just a more rampant thing. It was like 50s pin-up girls set to music. It was sex, and it was the future. It was just two things that interested me. You know, I was obsessed by it by the time I was about 13. Completely lived for it. You know. Well, yeah. I mean, we were in London. I'd come back from America. I'd been in a band in Cleveland for about 6 months, 5 months maybe, called The Boys, and I came back weighing about 85 pounds and no money, and I just sort of living in London with my girlfriend, and I met up with what was the original guitar player in the Babies, but they had no real songs or a band or anything. It took about 2 years to get all that together, but when we hit big, and we came to America and toured, and that was my first real experience of really seeing the whole of America, getting to New York City and seeing Los Angeles, actually going to Detroit, you know, and seeing an orange tree, you know. I mean, that was exotic for us, you know. It was like massive. We had a billboard on Times Square and a billboard on Sunset Strip. We stayed at the Riot House. That was the Hyatt House on Sunset Strip. It was like the Almost Famous movie, Cameron Crowe's movie. It was exactly that time period that we came. And it was a wonderful thing. Cream magazine, Lester Bangs out of Detroit, Cleveland with the the great radio and Kid Leo that came out of Cleveland alone was fantastic. But we were part of what just came after that, and it was a real upgrade of just hard touring into like things being really shiny, you know, like a lot of TV, a lot of receptions, staying in good hotels, a lot of great stuff happening away from the stage, you know, stuff that you dream about when you're a kid, but it was just a great time. Thank you so much. then when I'm writing, I just get out a guitar, hit a chord, and start singing, and it all makes sense. I put it off as much as I can. I find it's pretty draining, or it's like it worries me because I have to get really kind of personal. It's like opening a can of sardines or something. You know, you get in there and away you go. You know, it's I love words and I read a lot and I write all the time, but I don't enjoy the writing process too much. It's because I want to record it immediately. I don't want to sit around and wait for someone to come in and have an opinion. I think that the fresher the idea, the better the song is when it hits tape. And that's virtual tape now because everything's digital. But I like working live in the studio. And the music I listen to has a live edge to it. I don't like produced music. I really don't like it when somebody comes into the studio and starts saying, right, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. I couldn't give two fucks about that. You know, I'm about the music and I know what moves me. And the amazing thing about getting older is that you can do it very quickly. You're not hesitant about the technology. If you're playing live and you have a bad sound check, it isn't like it's going to weigh you down when you walk on stage because you go out on a mission. And it's the same thing with making a record. You go into a studio on a mission and you just tough it through. You just do it. You know? Melodic bass players always come up with Sting. Sting has that. And I was singing in that style because of my songwriting. It's the only way I could write songs because I couldn't really play the guitar. So I was like singing these notes that were like beyond blues notes. They were kind of like in the chord. But it made for a very interesting style of, sometimes not being such a great singer as a kid, I would sing the harmony. I didn't even know I was doing it. I would sing the melody, then go to the harmony because I thought, well, there you go. People would criticize me in the studio and say, you can't do that, that's the harmony. I'd go like, but that's what I do. You know, the producer would be going like, you can't do that because it's not in the chord. And I'd go like, but I'm doing it. You know, and music is like colored light. You know, you can shade it anywhere you want, take it anywhere you want. As long as it's in time and it's somewhat in tune, I think you can do just about anything you want with music. And it's put there for that purpose, you know. There are no laws to performing songs or writing them.
Behind the wheel.
Well, what do I remember from Union Jacks is like being single. Me and my girlfriend had split up. She went back to England, and I was living in the valley near the recording studio, and basically we would record it at night from about 8 o'clock forward and go home at dawn, and then I would sleep some of the day. But the tour was just throw down rock and roll. We hit the road running. It was a very powerful tour. The Head First tour the year before had been through the roof. We'd had Every Time I Think of You and Head First on AM and FM radio, and we came out with Union Jacks, and Back on My Feet Again was huge, and they segued straight into Midnight Rendezvous. So we had all the hits from the Babies up to that point, plus the new songs, and we were great live. But when I look back on the life, it was incredibly rough. It was like, hardly any sleep, and big gigs. I mean, playing to 20,000 people, and then going straight to the bar, and it was great. Some of the people that we knew and met along the way, so I have very fond memories of that time. It was really still fresh, and we were still reaching for the stars. We still thought we could make it.
Come to show them where I am.